Are you ready to dive into macro photography lighting outdoors? Well, this is part of a beginning macro photography series that I'm doing for you, and it's all about macro photography basics. So this is the fourth video of the series that I'm doing for you. So if you haven't dived into these 3 videos, then do so before you jump into this video. Please watch this video all the way to the end because I'm going to share with you some creative ideas when you're out there photographing with your flash. So let me just explain what I do when I get out to photograph macro. I mean, first of all, it's whatever attracts your eye. That's what I do. Whatever excites me, I stop and I stare at what it's about. Whether it's a flower, a weed, a bug, whatever it is. It could be something totally rusty car. We're talking about anything that's macro that really floats your boat when you're outdoors. So here's a bonus tip just for you people that love to photograph those cute little critters. Get up early in the morning. Get that coffee if you need it, or whatever you need to get up early and photograph the critters when they're just waking up and when it's cool out. So let's get you to work on photographing their eyes first. Stop and look at it first. And I want you to pay attention to the shadows. This is where the light comes in. You look, is there motion going on? And you want to set a great composition. Light is wonderful, but composition is even better. When I use my flash, there's 2 reasons why I'm popping the flash. So I'm thinking, do I need fill light? If you take the shot naturally, is it too dark? Well then, if it is, it's time to use a flash. The second reason that I use a flash is for creativity. And I may need to add a little bit more shadow to give it more dimension. Now, in this video, I'm going to ask you to be adventurous. And what does adventurous mean? Yep, it means stepping out of your comfort zone. So you're going to change your flash to manual. This is where you really will learn and understand how to pop the light. Because manually is what you want, not what the camera is doing. Through the lens, the camera is doing the work. And now it's time for you to do the work. And it's okay because I've got your back. Get your flash out right now and I'll wait for you. Okay, you're back. Awesome. All right, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna turn on your flash. So it's on TTL, you could see it, TTL, all right? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna change it to manual. On this flash, there is a mode button. See the mode? So now you can see the manual up here and see the 1:1? 1:1 ratio means that when I pop this, that's full power. And I'm gonna push the minus key. Let me see if I can do it like this. 1/8. And as I keep decreasing, it's a slower power. For this flash, 1/64 I would try, and I'm just gonna go ahead and select it. And now it stopped bouncing. Do you see how that is? It's a small pop, and that's where you start. Now, once you're photographing, if you need more light, so all you have to do is select it again, and then you just increase if you need to increase, right? And then select. That's all you have to do, and that's all I want you to do. Here's the test. See, it's more now. We're diffusing this light because it's too harsh. So you'll probably try 1/16 at first, and then either increase or decrease. This will need a little bit more power because of the diffusion. With those of you that have ring lights, a lot of macro photographers have ring lights. We're gonna change this one to definitely not as harsh. So I'm going to turn it on. There we go. It's an ETTL. That's just because it's Canon. And I'm going to select my mode again. And now it's on manual. You can see the M. Okay, it's a little different. That's why I wanted to share it with you, This right here says 1:1. This is full power. So now when I do a test, this is 1:1, remember, and that's full. You're not going to use that for sure. So what we want to do is we want to decrease the power amount. And the way you do it on this one, this teeny little area right here is the plus and minus. You can see that? I'll click on it and see how it lights up? This little dial changes the amount that the pack will pop. So it's just like the other one, just a little different. So right now I have it at 1/28, which is the lowest, right? And now we'll pop it. See how tiny that is? There's not very much going on, but that's okay because if you have this close to the lens, you're not gonna want a big pop for sure. Let me know down in the comments, just a yes or no answer. Do you get frustrated with your flash? Yes or no? All right, now it's the fun part. So now as you're photographing, let's look at fill light. Let's do that first before we dive into creativity. So this is the part where you're saying to yourself, I need to fill in some of the shadows that are happening because I can't get them in natural light. It's just not working. That's when you pop for that. And then of course, the reason I love my flash is because I can stop the motion, and that is usually because of the wind. I'm super excited to share with you now the fun part, which is the creativity part, and you can do it. If you would like some help to move you quicker when it comes to your flash and being creative with your flash, then join me in the Creative Mentorship Program. We help macro and landscape photographers make world-class photography. It's an amazing program. Check out the link down below. The creativity that I would like you to think about is just enhancing your subject. I take this off of the lens and I move it around the subject. I do. It's a lot of fun. And it really does make a big difference because when you photograph, the light hits straight on, leaves things flat. But when you go to a 90 degrees, you will have more shadows. And the shadow is the ticket. That is what gives you the three-dimensional feel of your photograph. Now, I will say that a lot of times I will be using my camera on a tripod when I do this. Whew, I talked a lot about flash today because I love it. It's so much fun. But there's so much more for you to learn. So definitely check out our essential macro photography toolkit. Download my free ultimate and yes, essential macro photography toolkit to get your hands on my top macro photography creation resources to make your next image spectacular so you can create work faster without the guesswork. Check out down below where I really dive into the pack. I've shared this with you before, but I don't want you to get frustrated. First learn this, then check out that video down below. Always remember that your 1,000 words does make a difference. Cheers.